Hi y'all, सत श्री अकाल. मेरा नाम तकदीर कौर पंडाल है. My name is Tak Gaur Bandel, and I get to be your host for this live. On a personal note, my pronouns are she and her, and I am based in Halifax on Mi'kmaq Treaty Territories. Our firm, BIPOC Executive Search, our main offices are located in Toronto, Canada. And on that note of land and acknowledging the land, we honor that our main location is situated on the ancestral and traditional territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. And we are just so honored to be uninvited guests on their lands and to be able to nourish ourselves, nourish our communities, and hopefully give back and really honor that commitment of what it means to be in true reconciliation and community with Indigenous folks here in Canada. So we honor that the communities that I named, along with many, many more who have maybe been lost, are the owners and original custodians of the land. And for all non-Indigenous peoples, folks who identify as settlers, as arrivants, we continue to honor the land's history, honor the land itself, educate ourselves, and play an active role in redressing systemic, structural, and historical disadvantages that are faced by Indigenous communities, and also celebrate resilience, strength, love, beauty, and empathy as we learn from our Indigenous hosts, family members, community members, team members. So I really want to honor the land here. And as one of our colleagues, Shirley Lay, always likes to share, let's take a minute to really feel into what our bodies feel like as we hear these words, and really honor our feet on the ground, like our presence here in this space. And breathe together. So with that, on the professional side, I'm a partner at BIPOC Executive Search, host for our live today, which is celebrating our 2nd year anniversary as a firm. So we're so excited to have all of our team members here today. I'm going to be facilitating with the first group and then passing it on to my colleague Chad to facilitate the second. And do stay tuned because you'll want to see some of the videos and content that our amazing marketing team has put together. So with that, let's start inviting folks in. So I'll invite in Lori, who is our head of research and a consultant. Lori uses she, her pronouns. Hi, Lori. Let's welcome in Jesse, who is a technical writer and researcher. He, him pronouns. Hi, Jesse, welcome. I'll invite in Shirley, who is a partner at BIPOC Executive Search. She, her pronouns. Hi, Shirley. Welcome in Candice, who is also a partner now at BIPOC Executive Search. She, her pronouns for Candice. Next is Steph, who is our head of delivery and design and project manager. And she, her pronouns for Stephanie. Welcome, Stephanie. And next we have Zoe, who is our community relations specialist and researcher, and they, them pronouns for Zoe. Welcome, Zoe, nice to see you. And last but not least, we have Stacey Ann, who is our amazing director, marketing and content. And just going to shout out Stacey Ann once again for making all of this magic happen. So welcome everybody. How are folks doing? Feel free to unmute yourselves and everyone just in a chorus say out how they're doing. Good?
Amazing.
Great.
Yay. Thanks, Tak.
Yay. Thank you. So we are here, we are celebrating. We got to see each other in person very recently, and we're still vibing off that. And we got to celebrate in so many ways. So my question to each one of you is, what is one way that you love to celebrate yourself? And this is so important. I love celebration. I love pre-celebrating. You all know that I love manifestation, and I think it just contributes to that. So why don't we start off with Lori? Lori, please share. How do you love to celebrate yourself?
Thanks, Tack, so much. It's such an honor being here and sharing space with all of you and getting the opportunity to celebrate again, much like we got the opportunity a few weeks ago, finally in person. Thank you very much for the question. How do I celebrate myself? I think what I want to say is a few things, maybe. Firstly, maybe taking a break. Sometimes you work so hard, or myself, I work so hard to get to a certain point. Sometimes rewarding myself with a break, a chance to get away, or even just by myself, doing something in order to decompress, or maybe binge watch a show, which I never have the opportunity to do. Also, sharing space with loved ones, maybe hosting a dinner party and sharing my accomplishments with them in a safe space that I feel like I can feel that that love and accomplishment, and sharing it with my loved ones is super important. And maybe even the opportunity to invest in myself, whether that be purchasing something that I've been waiting and looking for a while as a reward for my hard-earned accomplishments. Thanks, Tack.
Amazing. Yeah. Thanks so much, Lori, for naming all those pieces. I feel like you reflected, the importance of thinking about who you celebrate with, especially if it's by yourself, and really carving out that time to just do whatever you want to do. And that piece around like saving items from companies maybe we feel strongly aligned with in terms of values, and like saving that for an important moment and milestone. And you're like, yes, now, I bought this chair, and I remember when I bought this chair because it was associated with that. So thanks so much, Lori, for that. Over to you, Jesse. I would love to know how you celebrate.
Thanks, Tack, and hi, everyone. It's an interesting question because I have a birthday coming up in a few weeks. My first birthday in a few years that will not be determined by, at least what happens there will not be determined by lockdown restrictions. So I have kind of an open book to do whatever I feel for that day. And I think to answer that, generally, yeah, like similar to Lori's response, I really like to celebrate myself by taking time to recharge my battery a bit. I'm a pretty quiet person, and I'm a pretty low key person, I think. And I live in a world, I think we all live in a world that's very busy with lots going on. And, I'm in the heart of a major city in Toronto. So there's always things going on. And I think, for me, just celebrating myself is just, and I do this for my birthday, just taking time to unplug in the few ways that I found are most successful in my life. Just taking time with a few very close people in my life, and just, I don't want to say doing nothing, but doing something that just feels open and just without expectations or restrictions, just whether it's going for a walk or going to the movies. I think that's where I find the most peace, for sure.
Thanks so much, Jesse, and happy early birthday from all of us. I'm sure we'll be inundating your inbox that day, even though you'll be off with birthday messages. So exciting. I really like how you named that piece of like not having expectation around it. Because sometimes in our work, I can speak for myself, I can be very outcome oriented. And so when we do an activity where it's just like, I can do whatever I want, wherever it takes me, just be in flow, it can feel very freeing. So really appreciate you naming that. Over to you, Shirley. What do you like to do to celebrate?
Oh, thank you, Tack. So although this question is really simplistic, I think for me and for some other BIPOC folks or marginalized folks, it could be a complicated thing. It's taken me a few years to determine what this really means in terms of self-celebration. So in order to self-celebrate, one needs to first identify the moment of when it's appropriate, and then two, owning that that perception that one is deserving of the celebration, right? There's so many of us who are given accolades and then we just kind of push it away. We go, no, we don't deserve it. And I do that to myself quite a bit. So listening to my inner child. My inner child is fantastic at telling me, like, this is a moment to indulge in joy, pleasure, and play. So that's when I listen to that part of me, and then I learn to trust myself, like, in those moments, to say, yeah, I'm allowed to. I can give myself permission, that chance to indulge or to invest in something that I want to. And oftentimes I look to all my senses. So anything that engage in all my senses are things that I find self-celebratory. So engaging in food, or going on a new adventure, getting surprised, getting to touch, feel, and sense things are things that I use to celebrate. Thanks, Tak.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Shirley. And I really appreciate you naming that piece of like permission to celebrate in some ways, and the different, I guess, potentially limiting beliefs or traumas that people have inherited or experienced that maybe sometimes prevent us from doing that. And yeah, I heard food. I was like, yes, Shirley, eating and food, which is a major theme that we all love at BIPOC Executive Search. So I really appreciate you sharing that, and sort of those five senses, thinking about how do we have celebration be an embodied experience, and like really feeling that feeling. And I think we really accomplished that in our in-person celebration. We had so much going on. Thanks, Shirley. And I will avoid derailing this entire conversation to recount to the audience our time at Activate. So with that, I'll save the audience and pass it to you, Candice, to talk about how you celebrate.
Thanks so much for this question. So maybe I'll say that for me, I think I'm good at celebrating birthdays for myself. And that's largely because birthdays have been like celebrated by family and friends, and I think that makes it easier. But I struggle more with celebrating like daily wins, weekly wins. So, for birthday celebrations, like I love a birthday vacation. I love, maybe because my birthday is in April and it's often rainy in Toronto. So I like to go someplace warm. I like to be on the beach. I like to be with friends. I like to be having a picnic for that kind of celebration. I think with the daily wins, there is some piece about just kind of acknowledging. There is some piece about actually really taking a moment to say, oh, good job, rather than, dismissing, what you were able to do. And I think part of that is also developing a relationship with like resistance, because I think that also comes up when it comes to celebrating. So for those daily wins, sometimes it's as simple as, calling someone and just actually, putting it out there and saying, okay, like this thing, I was part of this thing. Other times, like, I'll never say no to anything spa adjacent or going to the spa for sure. And never no to a really good meal and a new food spot. And I think I used to do this a little bit more, but like just trying out new restaurants, even on my own. I'm not one of those people who always feels that I have to dine with others. Like I kind of sometimes like a solo dining experience that is like really long and involved, and you order multiple courses and you stay there for a while. So it looks like all of those things for me. So I really appreciate the question, Tak.
Thanks so much for sharing, Candice. So much of what you said resonated. I really liked how you named that piece of like scale of celebration. So like a yearly celebration, daily and weekly, and reminding ourselves, how do we continue to do that in order to, in some ways, like honor the work that we do, because we all work so hard and we play at such a high level. And I know everybody listening can maybe feel that as well. So to find those moments of joy in the daily, in the weekly, and then, you know, yearly beach visits. I know that you went, I think it was California this year for your birthday. So appreciate that, Candace. Next, over to Steph. Steph, how do you like to celebrate?
Thanks, Tak. And might I just say, I love the fact that food has come up multiple times already. That's the best. Let me first say that I'm probably the opposite of Candace, where I actually don't celebrate my birthday. But I do like celebrating projects, really tough projects, or even daily tasks that I found challenging. I like to celebrate myself in that instance because, yeah, I just have a sense of accomplishment, and I feel like I really can award myself and celebrate because I did that. I tackled that obstacle. I tackled that challenge. So for me, it could come in the form of food. I could, hop into my car, take a drive around the block, pick up Candace on my way, go to an ice cream shop or something. Yeah, for me, I love treating myself to a really good meal. Even for me, I find that even something as simple as a vanilla latte for me is like a reward at the end of the day. And if you know me, I drink coffee or tea, even in the evening. So that could be a reward for me. That could be a way for me to celebrate myself any time of the day. Thanks, Steph.
Thanks so much, Steph. You painted such a good picture. I could literally see you like going, picking up Candace, you're getting ice cream, you're having a great time. Maybe we'll all meet you there. I really appreciate you also naming the piece around hard projects and like rewarding ourselves for making it through a situation or process, whether it's at work or at home, that really challenged us and like pushed us outside of our comfort zone. Because I think it helps us, like, if it was a safe experience of challenge, like do it again. So thank you, Steph. Over to you, Zoe.
Thanks so much, Tak, and thank you everyone for sharing. I'm so happy to be gathered in this space, so I appreciate you all so much. I feel like I've heard food one too many times, but I'm so happy to join the food party. I oftentimes, like how Shirley mentioned, have trouble celebrating myself, so I find a lot of solace in sometimes celebrating ingredients that I have in front of me that are fresh in season. For those who don't know, I'm also a culinary artist, so I have a lot of time that's spent in my kitchen, other folks' kitchens, sometimes voluntarily or involuntarily, based on hunger for the evening. But I do find a lot of solace in celebrating the ingredients that we've been granted and privileged to work with based on the land that we're on. So whether it's a hard day or it's a lovely day, I oftentimes find a lot of celebration in just the feeling of being able to nourish, having the privilege to nourish, and having the privilege to work with ingredients that I've been granted. And so I find that whether it's a good day or a bad day, that's usually my go-to. When I'm feeling celebratory, I'll oftentimes make things that are more, I guess, allowing me more creative freedom in where I want to take a meal. Whereas if it's a harder day, sometimes I might feed for sustenance. But I do find that regardless of where my energy is at for the day, it's on one end of the spectrum or the other. Nourishment is super important. And so I'm thankful to have heard Steph and Candace and other folks echo in their own ways how they nourish themselves, whether physically, mentally, spiritually. It's very important. So I feel like that would be my response. Thanks, Tak.
Thanks so much, Zoe. I really appreciate how you named, the relationship to the land and honoring the land and gratitude as a form of celebration, just being grateful for everything that we have. It's so important. So thank you for reminding us of that. Over to you, Stacey Ann, to share your piece, and then I'll share a little bit, and then we have our surprise questions for you all.
Yes. Okay, so I celebrate everything. I'm a huge birthday celebrator, maybe because I'm a Leo. My birthday's in a few weeks too, Jesse, Team Leo over here. But years ago, I struggled with depression. So I was suicidal. And I think that period made me realize how precious my life is. And so since then, for the last 11 years, I celebrate everything. I could have a hard day or a winning day, and I'll celebrate. I'll go to Starbucks and get myself a drink, a latte, or Timmy's even, and get myself just a drink, right? Birthdays are huge for me because every birthday I do a photo shoot, every single birthday, a photo shoot, video shoot, giving myself flowers. I celebrate a lot because I know how precious life is, and I know where I was 11 years ago and how I felt. So celebration for me and celebrating myself, and not just myself. I love to celebrate others too. Like, I'm that friend. It's like, it's your birthday, I'm up at 12 a.m. Or if you're born at 12:27, I'm staying up till that time and I'm sending you a message. I'm calling you. I'm taking you out. So I love celebrating overall. So thank you so much for the question. And one of my biggest ways of celebrating too is I love to take a nap. I'm a huge napper. Naps are very important to me. Sleep is very important to me. So if I can get 3 hours during the day between 1 and 4 p.m., that's it. So I love celebrating life and love celebrating. So thank you for the question, Tak.
Yeah, thanks so much, Stacey Ann, for sharing your story and for, honoring how we can celebrate just like the preciousness of life. It doesn't need to be like a specific event or something that we've done, just the mere act that we are like here alive. We have a vision, we have purpose. We have an amazing, amazing, amazing team. Like, I just love you all so much. So appreciate you naming that. I will quickly share that I love to celebrate by going for a walk in the forest, all the ways that you mentioned as well. And then sometimes I remind myself, like, how can I celebrate and have kind of like the least amount of impact on the land? And sometimes that's going in the land and telling everybody that I love them. So that's what I like to do with my dog Hopper. Usually every evening, especially in the warmer months, we do that. And so, on the note of celebrating, 2 ways that I know that many of us like to celebrate is through dance and music. And the other, which, surprise, surprise, we've all named as food. But something that Stephanie said about ice cream is potentially also a way we like to celebrate. I know I'm a big ice cream person. Like, I love an ice cream moment. Currently running an ice cream like bracket in Halifax. So very passionate. So I love this question. So Stacey Ann has prepared these 2 questions for us. The first one, we're going to put it on the screen. And I would love for you all to really quickly say what it is out loud. So if you were to describe your time at BIPOC Executive Search as an ice cream flavor, what would it be? Options are vanilla, coffee, Neapolitan, or rainbow sherbet. And I can repeat those if we need to, but otherwise I'm going to pass it to you, Lori. How would you describe it?
I'm going to say rainbow sherbet.
Amazing. Okay, over to you, Jesse.
Yeah, rainbow sherbet. Full disclosure, I forget what Neapolitan means. I'm going to go with rainbow sherbet.
Thanks, Jesse. Over to you, Shirley.
Good choice, Jesse. Rainbow sherbet for me too.
Yes. Okay, Candace, how about you?
I don't drink coffee, but I'm going to say coffee for richness.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. How about you, Steph?
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan. Okay. Zoe?
I need my coffee every morning, so coffee.
And how about you, Stacey Ann? What's your ice cream flavor choice?
Oh, definitely vanilla. I love vanilla, and you can put it with everything. You mix it with everything. So vanilla for me.
Ooh, I like how we were all like, we're not describing our time. We're just choosing what ice cream flavor we love. So I'm going to go with that too. Out of the 4, I might also go with you, coffee, and Candace, but to describe our time, rainbow sherbet all the way. We are a joy and a rainbow for sure. So last question before we go to our commercial, which is, if you had to pick your favorite music group from the following list, which would it be? TLC, Destiny's Child, the Supremes, or the Spice Girls? Lori, which would you choose out of the 4?
TLC, don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yes, Lori. How about you, Jesse?
Supremes for sure. I'm a big fan of the Supremes. Yeah.
I could have pegged you for that one for sure. How about you, Shirley?
We're all survivors here, so Destiny's Child.
Ooh, love it. Candace.
Definitely TLC. I'm with Lori on that one.
Okay. Steph.
Can I choose two?
Yes, because of abundance.
Okay, if I had to choose one, TLC. No scrubs here.
Thanks so much, Steph. Over to you, Zoe.
I would say Destiny's Child for sure.
Okay. Zoe's coming in with some firmness around Destiny's Child. And Stacey Ann.
Say my name.
Of
Destiny's
course. Of course. For folks who don't know, Stacey Ann, when she was president in residence, made us all choose our Beyonce out of like a choice. So of, I think, 12. So Stacey Ann, that's very on brand. I have to say I'm on TLC. So clearly Candace and I would form some alliances if we were on a game show together. So thank you all for letting me host. Thank you all for being here. Stacey Ann for facilitating. I think we can feel free to sign off, and you'll get to see our commercial, everybody. Stay tuned. You're going to see some baby photos. And then our second group will be joining. Amazing. Bye, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to part 2 of Celebrating BIPOC ES. It's our second anniversary. How is everyone doing? Yay. I'll do a quick introduction here. Just as it goes across on my screen, you saw Jason come in, our president and managing partner, he, him pronouns. We have Erica as well, who's joined us, our vice president operations, she, her pronouns. We have Irmla as well, she, her pronouns. She's a partner here at a BIPOC executive search. We've also got Melissa, also a partner here, she, her pronouns. And Helen here as well, partner, she, her pronouns. And we've got Avery, he, him, or they, them pronouns. He's our researcher and project coordinator. So welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here. We had our first group. TAC was hosting our first group. We had some amazing information that came out of that and some fun stories. We're going to do another question here. I'll go through each person. Basically, what we want to ask you is, what is your fondest work memory? So whatever comes to your mind, obviously it can be here at our BIPOC executive search, or you can redefine work. We'll leave it completely open to you how you'd like to take the question. And I'd love to start, if we could, with Avery. What's your fondest work memory?
Oh, wow. Hello, everyone. Happy anniversary. I'm so excited to be here, which is actually in relation to one of my favorite work memories was doing the live for the first time. I think I had just joined the team for a month or so. And Erica knows one of the quotes that came out of that. I just want to be seen. So, I'm be working here. I always feel like I'm being seen. I always feel like I'm heard, and I always feel like I'm respected. And so I'm just so excited. And yeah, for sure, the live, 100%.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Avery. And I feel like that is with your personality, you have so much energy. And I can see, I mean, you shine so much in the lives, you shine in our meetings. So I feel like, yes, it's a fond memory for you, also a fond memory for us, I would say, seeing you be able to show yourself in that way. Amazing. Can we go on to Jason? Jason, what is your fondest work memory?
See, that is a very hard question because I have fond work memories with every single person on this team, being someone that gets to interact with everyone frequently. I would say that my favorite work memories has anything to do with when we are all together, because we are pretty dynamic. We are all unique and we are all powerful individuals. And so the energy and the beauty and the love, the tears, the laughter, the joy that comes from assembling together is just such a profound feeling. And so I would say even our second anniversary when we came together, some of the work that we did in person, some of the videos that we got done in person, all of the e-learning work that we've done on video, the facilitation, and certainly the way in which we get to see how we are impacting communities by everything that we do. So Chad, I'm not giving you one, I'm just giving you like every day, everything. It's just all coming together as a beautiful memory.
Thanks so much, Jason. Yeah, I mean, and thanks for sharing that. And what I'm hearing is that connectivity piece. And I mean, that is, I feel like, so important in work for sure. I mean, you're talking about connectivity amongst colleagues, and then also connectivity, going out into the greater community. I love that. That's, I mean, and anyone who can have that in a work setting is very blessed, I would say. Irmela, can we go on to you? What's your fondest work memory?
Oh my gosh, I just love how Jason's celebrating every moment, just coming over from the last question. And I was like, oh, let me get my answers for the last question. But thanks, Chad, for surprising us. I love that that we get to celebrate moments. I know I'm sort of combining it, Chad. Work moments that I think of recently, the silent disco that we were recently a part of. And for me, what that represents is music, but just a combination of cultures and people integration. And so that's within the firm. And then for me, favorite memories is when a candidate and the client just gel together like this, and they're able to say, wow, I never thought, that I could do this. And thank you for helping us. And then for seeing me, like Avery wants to be seen, the candidates want to be seen. So I just love that we get to engage in this work. And every day is my favorite work memory, creating these, Chad. Yeah.
I love that, Irmela. Yeah, I mean, being able to engage not only with your colleagues, but also with clients and with candidates in the case of our work. So having that truly that sort of engagement, getting to know each other better, which obviously comes to that engagement, whether it's, us coming together in not only our work setting, but in a social setting, which we do, but then as well, as you were saying, connecting with candidates and really getting to know them. I like that again, that connectivity piece is lovely. Erica, can we move on to you? What is your fondest work memory?
This is pretty hard because there's so many. But I guess the most recent one, I could talk about that. Probably when we all went to Activate together a couple of weeks ago. I got to see our team members put their strengths, their skills, and even the competitiveness to work. And there are a lot of people here that are very competitive. So we're all very different, right? And we all have different personalities and working styles, problem-solving skills, and whatnot. And that really came through at Activate. And the reason why it's one of my fondest memories is because it really hit home for me that people with different working styles and personalities could work really well together. We just have to recognize everyone's strengths and let them play to it and not hold them back. and that there isn't just one way of doing things to be successful. So I would say that's one of my fondest memories.
I really, really like that, Erica. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, that's a lovely way to put it. Actually, seeing your colleagues in different lights and seeing what their skills are. We see each other as well, obviously, as colleagues in the work setting, but then seeing people outside of that setting, seeing how those skills that they have translate in different ways, even if it's competitiveness, but turning that into fun as well. So, I mean, many of us have competitive natures, but we can be competitive in fun ways, through our games and sports and that sort of thing. But yeah, I love that. That's a great work memory to have. Helen, can I turn it to you? It's what's your fondest work memory?
I don't have one, because like everybody else said, there are so many to choose from. I would say I would say overall, the culture here is one that makes work fond, if that makes any sense. So anytime we get to laugh, and it could be individually on a Teams call, on Zoom call, and even just, we did it. We finished that, that project. And I'm kind of referencing what Stephanie said in the first group and kind of celebrating that. And so those conversations, those are all of my fun memories in a little mosaic in front of me as you're putting these words together and asking the question, Chad.
I like that, Helen. Yeah, it's so important. I mean, again, in a work setting to have that lightheartedness. I think that's what you were partly getting at. I mean, the fact that you can laugh with your colleagues can create extremely fond work memories and create a work setting that is so much more livable and so much more palatable for everyone. That's it's amazing having that laughter and that connectivity again. I love that. Melissa, can we go on to you? What's your fondest work memory?
Yeah, I was scanning through my sort of career and, landed in a couple of places. This is the best place I've ever worked, and I've worked at a few. And I think about a couple of things. I think about, being in the presence of brilliance of folks that we get to speak with, whether it's our clients or candidates or colleagues, right? That's really special. And that we all strive towards a mission together. I think that's really cool. A fond memory, I have to say, yes, Activate for sure. I think for reasons that we'll leave unsaid here, but there was a competition. But, we had a dinner together. We had a dinner together later that day. And, I can feel everyone's hearts here. And so we had this moment where we went around and we were talking about, what brought you here and what keeps you here. And it was really, I'll never forget that. That has been probably my fondest moment, to see everyone share that we were all together sharing a meal. Yeah, that's definitely fondest. One for the books. Thanks so much, Chad.
I love that, Melissa. I mean, I feel one thing that came out for me when you were saying that is honoring people through listening to their stories as well and hearing stories. And that the dinner was so much about that. All of us telling a bit about ourselves, telling how we came to the firm in that particular case. We were talking about that. But then, as you said, through the stories, actually feeling someone's heart. And it's so important, that connection that we can have. And I mean, obviously through the dinner, but as you said as well, even just in our daily work lives, which you mentioned at the beginning, which is lovely. I mean, that's such an important thing in our workplaces. I didn't introduce myself. Sorry. So my name is Chad Stauber. I should have introduced myself at the beginning. I'm the senior technical writer here and data analyst at BIPOC Executive Search. And I essentially am going to echo what pretty much everyone said, but I would say my fondest work memory is, and it's more of just an ongoing way of being. I love the work we do, and obviously, I love writing. I love all that business. It's great. But my fondest memory is really the connection I have every day with my colleagues, whether it's at dinners or through, activities that we've done outside of work, but also just in our daily interactions, connecting with people on a personal level. And I do think those personal connections, while they might not be explicitly creating work, they create, I think, the environment where we can get work done and where it makes work possible to get done by creating that connection. Everything that everyone said, by creating that connection of heart, by creating the feeling of, really being a part of a family and being interconnected. So that's my fondest memory, is really just every single one of you and the moments I have when we're talking, probably not about work, but I think that builds a foundation for all of us to work, I think, so well together. So that's my fondest work memory. And it hasn't happened in all work settings for me. So it's something I think that's really sacred and really special. And I think we've got it here, which is fantastic. Now we do have our producer Stacey Ann Buchanan. She's actually put together a couple of surprise questions. I might have hinted at this, but we're gonna have two. They're gonna be sort of like lightning round questions. So they're basically just quick answers. So Stacey Ann's gonna put them on our screen. The first one we have. It's quite a nice question. So if you got to choose the magical number of days you would like to work in a week, what would that number be? And basically it's 5, 4, 3, or 2 or less. So this isn't a trick question. This isn't, you're not going to be put, I know we have Jason, our president managing partner here, but you can be honest. I have an honest answer. But yeah, so we're going to do lightning round, and let's start with Avery. 5, 4, 3, or 2 or less.
I'm gonna say 3. 3 is a good number. I can do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Done.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Awesome. Jason, how about Jason?
I wish I can go last for this one, Chad, so I can hear what everyone has to say.
Okay, you know what? Okay, let's do you last.
Oh, wow, great.
Yeah. So let's wait. So we'll go to Irmela next. We'll hear Jason last. I think that's a good idea.
That was easy. Jason, how'd you do that, Chad? Realistically 4, ideally 3. I'll pause there.
Okay, awesome. Erica, what about for you?
Probably 4, and then maybe when I'm closer to retirement, then 3.
Then 3. Okay. Helen?
I would have to say 4. But maybe 8.
8? You have more time to do your work. 4, but yeah, okay. So I'm hearing a lot the long weekends, the 3-day weekends, and then we've got Melissa.
I would do 4. Interested to finding out more about 8, what that looks like, but I would be a 4 kind of person.
Okay, 4, and then Jason. Now you're last, so. You get to weigh in very last.
Helen wants to invent more time, more days of the week. It's not happening. I would say 4. And I will also say publicly here for our team and everyone watching that in the fall, we may very well in our team explore what a 4-day work week pilot looks like, because we are constantly trying to be an example for other organizations. And so before we actually counsel others, we should be able to know how it feels like here. So these are going to be ongoing conversations, and we'll see if it happens. So it might.
Oh, I love it. My heart is, I'm getting warm even thinking about that. 4-day work week. Oh my God. My number would have been 3, but that's I think along the lines of Erica, maybe towards retirement, but I think 4 would be actually just perfect, I think, on a regular basis. All right, we have one more lightning round question, and again, Stacey Ann will put it up on the screen for us. So what sound gives you the most comfort? And we've got birds chirping, waves crashing or running water, silence, or nearby conversations or laughter. So I can repeat them again if anyone needs me to. And again, let's start with Avery.
This is so sick because I came up with this question. So I love that. So I'm a Scorpio, which means I'm a water sign, which means I love the sounds of waves crashing on the shore and just like running water. For sure. For sure.
Lovely. Thank you. Thanks, Avery. And this time we'll go to Jason next.
I'm with Avery. Love the sound of water and the shore, and I always play water sounds overnight as I sleep.
Oh, nice, nice. Oh, that is such a good thing to do. Ermela.
Yeah, for me, it's water as well. As a child, I remember hearing water on the galvanized tin roofs growing up in Trinidad and Tobago, and just by the ocean side. But I also just love that water is so still and beautiful and calm. So the Gemini variants, if we're talking signs.
I like that, Ermela. I like that. And I actually have a similar memory, but from growing up as well, hearing that sound of the tin roof. It's such a calming sound if it's something you're familiar with. Erica.
It would have to be nearby conversations or laughter. I grew up in a really big family, so hearing people around is actually very comforting for me.
Oh, I like that. I like that, Erica. That's really beautiful. Helen.
I think it's a tie between water, like waves crashing, and birds chirping. Sometimes when I was younger, I used to actually have conversations with birds.
Oh my. More talents. Helen, talking to the birds. I love it.
Well, I'm not sure if they answered back, but
you're not sure if they answered back.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And last but certainly not least, Melissa.
So I'm also water sign, Scorpio. And so I would say it would be running water or waves. And I also come from a big family. So when there's nearby conversation, especially laughter, I love those sounds.
I love it. I love it. For me, I'm also going to go with waters. I find it extremely, extremely calming. I do find it interesting how if I'm reading or relaxing, I either want to have lots of silence or I want to have that lots of conversation and laughter around me. It seems either, so either I can have the real calm and I can focus, or I can have the rambunctiousness around me and the laughter, and it seems I'm able to focus. So it's interesting. Our whole team, it was either conversations and laughter or calm and running water. So I guess people can make what they will of that. Thank you all so much for all of your answers. Beautiful, beautiful answers. And again, some amazing stories came out from everyone's responses. We would like to as well, I'd like to invite Jason just to speak for a few minutes and to give us a bit of a briefing on BIPOC executive search in the next year and what's coming up and what we can expect. And yeah, just a few notes if you can for us on us celebrating now our 2nd anniversary. So I'm going to leave it to Jason.
Thanks so much for that, Chad. And thanks to the overall team for making this time and for Stacey Ann for producing it again, another incredible live. We have a number of things coming up in what I would say is our season 3, because, we're kind of creative here. We do things differently. So we're kind of going into our 3rd season, not just celebrating our 2nd anniversary. So we have over 100 podcasts and influencer videos. If you can believe it, while we've been doing our day-to-day work with clients behind the scenes, we have been putting all of this content together that will come out in September when, new episodic television generally comes onto the airwaves. So expect over 100 podcasts that will fuel your soul for 365 days of the next calendar year. We have an EDI lexicon that will cover a number of definitions. That's over 100 pages worth. And we have a new book that we are all authoring as a team. And I want to say shout out to Chad, who is here, who has led the charge with the EDI lexicon and this book. So thank you so much. And thanks to Stacey Ann for leading the charge with all of these podcasts and influencer videos. We are going to have a number of community relations things happening. So blogs, newsletters, ways to spotlight other BIPOC-owned businesses. So Zoe is not on this forum, but thanks to them for stepping into the community relations role to work alongside Stacey Ann, because they are going to do such brilliant work over the next year where that's concerned. We have been exploring and will be rolling out ways to connect real time with people who need to ask a recruiter a question. Many people out there may not necessarily be able to schedule time, but want real-time responses, which we are working on. We're going to have a number of live events, just like this one monthly, taking a break in August because everyone needs a break, but we'll be back in September. We'll have mini documentaries, we'll have filmed research and field study projects, so expect more of those pieces. So much of this work is about actually doing some study and doing some research and actually bringing content, documentary type style, to the masses. We'll have a summer playlist that's going to be rolling out later today. So get onto our website and see these playlists so you can actually jam with us over the remainder of summer. I want to comment on the fact that we are now paying $100 to candidates for participating in interviews, or they can give money to charity. So shout out to Paul Taylor of Food Share for the amazing work that he has done in that regard and for inspiring us to do the same. And with respect to the money that's donated to charity, we have donated a lot of money to charity, actually over $100,000 to charity over the last year. And for a business that's only been in business for 2 years, the fact that we are the type that always thinks about how we give back shows up in terms of how we do so. And so some of the charities that we recently have donated to is Black Health Alliance, First Nations Child and Family Caring Society, Inspire. We gave $10,000 last year to 100 accomplished Black Canadian women. We're doing again this year. We've given money, $5,000 to Indigenous fashion arts, to Toronto Fringe. People mentioned the silent disco that we actually sponsored to bring community together. Our team, when they were president in residence for a week, were able to give to charity each week, and we did $7,000 into charity in total that particular week. So all culminating to, in our 2 years, we've already given over $100,000 to charity. So thanks everyone for your hard work here and the fact that you continue to give back. We really do thank everybody who is watching right now or a part of our community. We really consider our relationship with you and the community to be circular. And so what I mean by that is because of your immense support for us and our support of you, we're able to continue to help the community in so many ways, including when we actually bring in clients that retain us, we give back. We want to make sure that we're showing up for organizations, charities, communities, etc., so that we all rise together in terms of the tide piece, as I often will say. And we will have new team members. We will be in other markets. We are going to be continuing to just really share the work that we are doing to really do work that's going to change cultures within organizations systemically. So thanks everyone, to the team and to the greater community. It's happening. It's happening.
Thank you so much, Jason, for all those updates. And yeah, there's so much exciting coming this next year. We've had 2 unbelievably exciting years. So yeah, I'm definitely charged. And I know all my colleagues are as well. As I know, speaking to them and seeing them every day, we're all very, very excited about everything that's already passed and everything that is to come. I wanted to actually welcome back in to our studio here, Tak, who was my co-host from part 1. So Tak, welcome back in. Hello.
Hello.
So Tak's just gonna say goodbye with us. And we're just gonna look at a few comments actually that came through social media just as we were having our live here today. Just let me see what I've got here. So we've got, we've got many happy anniversaries coming through. Happy anniversaries. We've got some people also weighing in, saying that they like waves crashing as well. So we've got a few other people. Few people saying that they love celebrating our projects. Another congratulations. So thank you everyone as we've been speaking. Thank you so much for comments from everyone that's been coming in as we've been speaking here. We have keep up the great work. Happy anniversary. So thank you everyone for comments that were coming in. And yeah, we want to thank all of our, definitely our clients, our candidates, everyone who's been associated with BIPOC Executive Search and who's helped us to grow over the last 2 years. And we're looking forward to working with everyone and to having another amazing year coming ahead. Tak, do you want to say anything else in conclusion as well?
Yeah, just to say thank you to everybody who wrote in, everyone who participated, all of our team members. I saw some of the comments coming through, and it's just so heartening to see, the relationships that we've built and the people that we get to help every day cheer us on and celebrate with us. So thank you to you all. Thanks, everybody. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.